In our modern world, unexpected public conversations can reveal deep truths about who we are and what we value. Sometimes these moments unfold not in private, but in the full glare of the digital spotlight, where millions can watch, react, and reflect in real time. This is the story of Elon Musk, the visionary tech billionaire and owner of X, and Joyce Carol Oates, a legendary American author whose novels have shaped generations of readers. Their paths might never have crossed in the physical world, but online, their worlds collided for all to see. Musk is celebrated for his relentless drive to push humanity forward, through rockets, electric cars, and ambitious dreams of Mars. Oates, meanwhile, is revered for her profound literary explorations, delving into the complexities of the human condition and the mysteries of the soul. They come from opposite worlds, one built on engineering, innovation, and markets, the other on language, imagination, and art. Yet both are driven by a desire to shape the future, each in their own way. When these two titans clashed online, it became more than a simple argument. It was a public spectacle, a meeting of minds that drew in thousands of onlookers, each with their own opinions and loyalties. Their debate on X, Musk's own platform, was a collision of values: what makes life meaningful, and what true success looks like. It was a rare moment when technology and literature, commerce and creativity met head-on in the public square. In a digital age of short posts and viral moments, their exchange asked timeless questions that echo far beyond the internet. People everywhere paused to consider, what really matters in life? What does it mean to live a rich life? Is it measured by wealth, by influence, or by the stories we tell and the connections we make? Does having everything, money, fame, power, mean you truly have anything at all? Or is there something deeper that defines a life well lived? Sometimes the most important conversations happen in the most unlikely places, whether in a quiet cafe, a bustling street, or on a social media platform where the world is watching. And in those moments, we're reminded that the questions we ask and the answers we seek are what truly connect us all. Every fire starts with a spark, and this one began with a tweet about money. In November 2025, a court approved a $1 trillion pay package for Musk at Tesla. Texas State Senator Roland Gutierrez criticized the sum, calling it excessive. Musk fired back on X, defending the deal and labeling the senator a taker, not a maker. This comment implied that only those who build companies truly contribute to society. Many saw Musk's view as dismissive of teachers, nurses, and artists, people who enrich our world in other ways. The tweet ignited a debate about wealth, value, and who really makes society better. The internet buzzed with arguments over economic inequality and the responsibilities of the ultra-rich. But the conversation was about to shift, from Musk's bank account to the substance of his life. Enter Joyce Carol Oates. When the conversation around Elon Musk grew heated, Joyce Carol Oates entered the fray. But she did so in a way that stood out from the noise. Rather than resorting to personal attacks or the kind of outrage that often dominates online debates, Oates brought a thoughtful, almost philosophical perspective to the table. She didn't shout or belittle. Instead, her words were measured, her tone calm, and her critique rooted in observation rather than anger. Oates described Musk as totally uneducated, uncultured, a striking statement, especially when aimed at someone celebrated for his intellect and innovation. It was a reminder that intelligence and wisdom aren't always the same thing. She elaborated, pointing out that Musk rarely seemed to appreciate the beauty of nature, the power of art, or the emotional resonance of music. To Oates, these were not trivial details, but essential parts of a meaningful life. Oates also observed his apparent lack of empathy, how he seldom celebrated the achievements of others or offered comfort during moments of grief. In her eyes, this emotional distance was more telling than any business decision. Perhaps her most powerful statement was this: the poorest persons on Twitter may have access to more beauty and meaning in life than the most wealthy person in the world. With this, she challenged the very definition of wealth. Oates flipped the script, suggesting that true richness isn't measured by money or status, but by the depth of our connections and the joy we find in everyday moments. Her words struck a chord because they spoke to something universal, a longing for meaning, for beauty, for genuine human connection that transcends material success. This wasn't just another online argument. Oates was inviting everyone to reflect on what truly matters, turning a public spat into a deeper philosophical conversation. She asked, in essence, What's the point of gaining the world if you lose the simple joys that make life worth living? It was a question that lingered long after the debate faded. In the end, Oates's critique resonated, because it gave voice to a quiet yearning many people feel but rarely articulate: the desire for a life rich in meaning, not just in wealth. Musk's reply was immediate and furious, as if he'd been waiting for just such a provocation. Within minutes, he fired off a series of tweets that left no doubt about his emotional state. The world watched as the billionaire's composure seemed to evaporate in real time. He called Oates a lazy liar, doubling down on his claim that a simple online search would reveal his deep appreciation for culture, art, and literature. Musk insisted that his interests were well documented, and that Oates's comments were not only unfounded, but deliberately misleading. But rather than addressing the substance of Oates's critique, Musk chose to attack her character. He labeled her mean and not a good human, shifting the conversation from ideas to personal insults. The exchange quickly escalated from a debate about values to a public feud. Musk didn't stop there. He openly mocked Oates's writing, claiming that reading her work was worse than eating sawdust. He even ridiculed her use of semicolons, turning a literary device into a punchline. The tone was dismissive, sarcastic, and deeply personal. For someone with Musk's influence and stature, the insults seemed surprisingly petty. Many observers were taken aback by how quickly he resorted to name-calling and mockery, rather than engaging in thoughtful discussion. Despite his claims of being misunderstood, Musk offered no real evidence of his love for art or nature. Instead of sharing examples or anecdotes, he simply lashed out, missing an opportunity to prove Oates wrong with grace or humor. To many, Musk's anger only seemed to validate Oates's original point. A secure, fulfilled person might have responded with wit, self-reflection, or even a touch of humility. Instead, Musk's reaction was defensive and combative. The intensity of his rage suggested that Oates had struck a nerve, exposing an insecurity that lay just beneath the surface. The contrast between the two was striking. Oates's calm, philosophical critique stood in sharp relief against Musk's personal attacks and emotional outbursts. As the world watched the drama unfold on social media and in headlines, it became clear that this was more than just a spat between two public figures. The story was just beginning, and everyone was paying attention. In the end, how you respond to criticism can reveal more about your character than any list of accomplishments or interests ever could. The internet exploded as the feud went viral. People everywhere took sides, but most praised Oates for her insight and elegance. Her words captured a vague discomfort many felt about Musk and extreme wealth. Memes mocked Musk's bag of sawdust insult and his attack on semicolons. English teachers and writers rallied behind Oates, celebrating her literary style. Musk's insults backfired, making him look insecure while Oates appeared dignified and wise. Media coverage framed the exchange as a significant cultural moment, not just a celebrity spat. Oates's critique was seen as a call for empathy and humanity from those in power. The public reaction revealed a deep desire for leaders who are more than just rich. They want them to be human. The conversation had shifted. What do we truly value in our heroes? The answer, for many, was clear. In the aftermath, Musk's online behavior changed. He began commenting on movies and cultural topics, but users saw it as forced, an attempt to prove Oates wrong. Jokes spread. "Joyce Carol Oates is making you do this, isn't she?" Musk's efforts to appear cultured only reinforced Oates's critique. Meanwhile, the semicolon became a symbol of literary pride. Writers and grammar fans celebrated it, turning Musk's insult into a badge of honor. Oates became a hero for grammar lovers everywhere. Even Oates acknowledged Musk's restraint in not censoring her criticism on his own platform. She noted this as a rare act of magnanimity, showing her ability to see complexity even in conflict. The episode became a lesson in irony and in the power of words. Why did this argument matter so much? Oates's words tapped into a growing unease about billionaire culture and the emptiness of extreme wealth. She shifted the focus from money to the human cost of a life spent accumulating power. Her critique suggested that spiritual poverty can come with material riches. Oates wasn't motivated by jealousy, but by a genuine concern for what we lose when we value money above meaning. She saw Musk as a symbol of what great wealth can do to a person's connection with the world. The conversation became about values. Do we prize fortune above empathy, or do we cherish the simple joys that make us human? For many, Oates' answer rang true. True wealth is something money can't buy. Her words gave people a new way to talk about what really matters. As the dust settled, Oates clarified her intent. She explained her critique was rooted in curiosity, not malice. Oates wondered why someone with unlimited resources seemed so disengaged from life's beauty. Her comments were about a broader phenomenon: how extreme wealth can isolate people from shared human experiences. She used Musk as a case study, not a personal target. Oates' reflection moved the conversation from personal attack to social commentary. She invited people to look beyond the drama and consider deeper questions about empathy and meaning. Her thoughtful approach reinforced her reputation as a wise observer of the human condition. Even in controversy, Oates sought understanding, not just victory. What's the final lesson from this epic online showdown? It's a reminder that empathy and humanity matter more than financial success. Oates' words challenged one of the world's most powerful men, not with anger, but with thoughtful observation. In a world obsessed with money, her quiet critique forced us to reflect on our own values. The public's response showed that people want leaders who are rich in spirit, not just in wealth. Social media makes everyone accountable, even billionaires. The story of Musk versus Oates is a call to cherish the simple things: books, nature, connection. These are the true riches of life, available to all. As Oates pointed out, the poorest person with wonder may be wealthier than the richest with an empty soul. That's a lesson worth more than all the money in the world.